Good evening, RPG Limit Break and Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise fans. We are here for this match between Allisele and Rowdy Roddy Sniper in the Spear group. My name's Invenerable. I'm here in the booth with Nightdew. Nightdew, what are we looking at with this Spear group? What's on the line tonight between these two racers?
Quite a bit tonight, actually. In the Spear group, we do have NG Dave off to a 4-0, great start there, and Dia 2-1. We have a lot of races actually go still here in this match here. We have Allisele, who is one of the three people with one loss or less here, really kind of trying to just kind of keep herself kind of on the third place track here. And we got Rowdy Roddy Sniper at 1-2 here, and a win here would definitely throw that third place play-in into a bunch of chaos here, and bring like Esco Nets and possibly even Fly Eagles Fly back into the fold here. So a lots to play for tonight.
Yeah, a lot of these round robin groups have kind of a lot of their matches are already complete. You have an idea of what's going on. You know, you have like two people at the top of the group. This one, you know, aside from it's so wide open. Every match in the Spear group is still going to be so important. And these two runners both have something to prove. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely here. And I'll actually answer one question in chat here real quick here. We do have Concussed Gamer asking if we ever start with a Cecil or Fu in this set. No, they are restricted here in the group flags here, which do means Cecil and Fu cannot be the starters, they cannot be on Mount Hobbs, and they cannot be in the Baron Inn. All those are free checks that you don't need a key item for. Now, anywhere else that a key item is required for are gated, and that's where they can show up.
Yup. Cecil just so powerful on this T Wildish flag set with the Adamant armor in play and folks doing a lot of looting that he can really solo your game. So I wanted to put a little bit of a damper on him in these group flags, but we're still going to see a lot of power. I'm sure he'll show up at some point this evening, and we'll get that crunch tearing through the seed.
Speaking of here...
Go for it. What are we looking at?
I mean, speaking of, we are going to get the sword, obviously. Next gal is guaranteed with the forge here. Let's see here. I just, the objectives moved. Oh no. Oh no, they're back here. Burn the Mist, Rat Tail, Super Cannon, Basement Throw, White Spear, a little bit of everything in terms of key items. Lots to find here. In terms of how much we're going to need to actually finish the seed here. No Giant, no Launch the Falcon, so I guess we don't have to take those paths if we really don't want to, so unless we get the hook seed, of course, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, so 8 key items required for go mode here. Quite a lot of variety, and of course some of them being terminal, with the Legend Sword and Adamant not gating anything beyond them, the package not getting anything beyond them, so should have a pretty high completion here. I think we're about to get rolling. Want to give one quick shout out to our restreamer Scala Kitty and our tracker Alchemy, taking care of all the button pushing, making sure that we get the easiest time in the booth. And we're off with this Edward start. Let's see that partner character, starting item, and who's at the buy-in spot.
This one, Yang, Ruby or Elements coming up here. Adamant Rock, I did see Hourglass and Zeus Rages, at least one of each in that opening kit there. So a little bit of freedom with what they can actually do here out of the gate with that extra stuff there.
Oh yeah, lots of possibilities here. If one of the runners wanted to, they could take a Trap Chest in Eblin with the Hourglass. Don't have a lot of damage output here, but still probably take down the the Lamia and the Quarrel Chest, but not a whole lot of opening damage here. Eddie, of course, really needs a spoon to get going really strong. A Dancing Dagger can take care of your early game. Yang needs levels badly. So very little strength. We're going to see this Eddie freebie in a big hurry here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, punching or elemental claws at least could help him a little bit, but there's just a lot out there that doesn't have those elemental weaknesses, and then we're not even sure we have the correct claws here as we both roll into our bedward here. Eddie talking with Eddie, only to receive some cookware. Very nice to find, but not immediately so.
Oh yeah, we know for a fact that we're only going to have to go through Sylph Cave the one time. We may even see our runners trying to fade Fabul Castle to only go there once. Roddy checking in with the frogs. And Allie gonna go to the public treasury here. Let's see what Allie pulls out of here. Another J item would be great. Well, not those stairs.
not so public treasury, and there, as Roddy is heading straight to Castle Eblin, starts with Ice Claw, Eddie with a great bow and some darkness arrows. Not terrible there, but not great. Also finding a nice hat, at least, here, so a little bit of value here in the public treasure, at least.
Yeah, not a whole lot extra though. One flask of wine too. I think that Roddy is really going to hope to find another J item here that should another big damaging J item should make it to where you can do that. Lamia Kitty's chest, Boreas, the tier 2 ice one should do nicely. And if we find a little bit of defense for this Yang, might be able to take down one trap chest while we're here. But gonna still be tricky and risky.
Yeah, did get a karate shirt there with your big damage J items. You still have to high roll the Quirrels a little bit, unless you like eating bluster counters, because those do still exist and they very much hurt there. However, did also actually show us that the middle route there, in terms of Castle Evelyn, while having a couple things for party members not in this party right now, was completely clear of those monster chests. So it does get to take all that stuff out of there.
Oh yeah. It's always nice when you just get your loot and ooh, a Dragoon Lance. Now I'm starting to think, who is on Hobbs? You would love a cane now. We found a good weapon, a good character who can use it, and we would be in business here. And still dodging all the trap chests. I guess they're all in the East Tower today.
Oh yeah, they absolutely are. And if I'm Rowdy Roddy Sniper, I am taking my not so ill-gotten gains and I am just leaving there. There's unless you think he can come back in for a trap chest, which he is actually doing here. So in he comes while Allisele is going to be taken out of the Damsey basement, which does have a lot of chests in there. So you can actually get a hit here, even though they're not exactly as usually valuable as some of the others in the spear. Does get a Gungnir spear at the very least.
Oh yeah, the density is stronger, the value is definitely worse, but a dancing knife and a vampire item, these are both fantastic. Eddie can now actually do about 300 damage a turn. You have the vampire and the Zeus Rage to throw. Antlion and Hobbs, both looking very doable for Ali's team at this point.
Yep, Yang gets a pile of dodges here, does get that hourglass off. Does need to unfortunately suffer one more round of attacks from the Stalemen, but might be able to get through here. And does so, it looks like.
Survives. If Roddy can get all of these things dead, he'll be in great shape. The early levels here let Yang actually start doing decent damage. And didn't we start with an Ice Claw?
We did, actually. I did see an Ice Claw there. We do have a Zeus Rage. We do have that Boreas, I believe, picked up as well. Or was that actually the public treasury? I cannot remember at this point in time here.
But it was in the back of the castle, so should have that to throw here as well. But looks to be burning through the Cure 2 stack instead, hoping to take down the skulls, but it's not going very quick. I would double check that inventory. Throw that other J item.
Seems content to stay with the Cure 2s and punches there. That one actually got there, but again, I mean, an Hourglass, I believe it was actually an Hourglass 3, so that lasts about forever and a day there, which is good for Rowdy Roddy Sniper here. Just kind of, you know, what do they find? As Allisele does get to Hobbs and shows us a cane for that Gungnir and other items there. Only guarded by some dolls, which is probably just one J item throw away from winning here too as well.
Yeah, this looks like the perfect place to throw that Zeus Rage. Should one-shot all 6 dolls. You got your cane, you got a few levels. He can start doing the damage that the other 2 characters can't. Now that being said, Roddy's Ice Claw here is going to get him through the remainder of this fight. Just very impressive, those dodges on Yang to survive the first onslaught, but about to get a whole bundle of XP and maybe a huge chest reward. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if this is one of those big holy swords for Cecil, we can find him. Obviously, adamant armor looms extremely large here. And nope, that's just a big stick.
It's a fantastic big stick that we are happy to see. Strongest weapon in the game. Spoon notwithstanding, of course, but I prefer it on the pile of HP, the pile of strength, with all the stat bonuses. Love a crystal sword. Just need to find a Cecil now, and Roddy's going to be rolling.
Absolutely, a huge find again, and just kind of where we just need to find some of those gated character checks here. Kind of surprised. I mean, I do see a lot of people don't do it there in terms of, hey, let's see if we can check out Baron in, especially in these seeds here, playing through a lot of group stages here. Finding a fight you can take. And, a ninja there. Edge can show up anywhere in these seeds now. He has been moved off the restricted pile, actually, and finding him is an extremely good game changer these days.
Absolutely. We see Roddy following suit with the Dancing Basement. Going to be very happy to get the Dancing Knife and the Vampire item there. Gungnir kind of counterfeited by already having that Dragoon Lance.
Ninja shirts in the Antlion, in the back of Antlion there. Great for our potential ninja who might be out there somewhere.
Yep. Kane here opening up with a Gungnir, Black Belt Gi, and Dragoon gloves on Ali's side. Not shabby at all. Rest of the team, well, Yang doesn't depend heavily on gear, and Edward is... he's Edward.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't depend heavily on gear, but, he still likes about any kind of strength enhancing you can throw on him just to get him moving just that little bit faster there, because, there is still a stark difference between, a Fire Claw and, Double Cat, Power Robe, and is that an alt gauntlet in Antlion I see here?
That is an alt gauntlet, and this team has no good means of clearing it in a hurry. Even if we had, a Blizzard Lance, it would be nice, because you could at least do multi-target attacks with Kane. But it looks like Ali at least is committing to the time sink. We'll see what pays off here. Roddy doesn't even have that cane yet, so we'll see if he elects to return at a later time.
Doesn't have the cane, but does have that XP, which means at the very least, Yang should be able to punch most of it down there. And Eddie does have that dancing dagger, so he can help too. So I don't foresee too much difficulty. The monsters here not exactly threatening either, but.
Oh yeah, it's not a question of if you can, it's a question of how long you're going to spend doing it. And that looks like committing to the bit. Let's go. Dueling alt gauntlets in Antlion.
You don't hate to see it if you're one of our runners here. Just because there are about 8 billion different places where this alt gauntlet could just be that much ruder here, but... good to get it out of your mind, out of the way. Don't have to run into it in, Sealed Cave, Back Attack Ordeals, Masamune Altar.
all of chat's favorite spots when they're not the ones playing the seeds. All right, Ali first through, and we get what group is this? Which round robin group are we looking at right now?
I believe it is the. I believe we are at the Spear group here too. So, just any and all spears we can grab a hold of here. Yeah, all the spears we can handle. We're ready for duplicate Kane here, aren't we?
Yeah, you could actually there's only one duplicate character on this flag set, and you will not hate it if it is a Kane. That is for sure. And even if you don't, if we find Edge, all these extra Gungnirs, they're darts. Throw them at enemies that you don't have good weapons for hitting or just are awkward to get to. It's a very handy thing to have a pile of throwables on this flag set.
However, is a very nice rune axe in one of the pots here in Baron. That's a very nice find, actually.
It has its merits, of course. It does do quadruple damage versus mage types, of which there are more than a few rude enemies. The big problem with it, though, is the accuracy. And we see Ali here moving that cane to the middle slot. Middle slot in Final Fantasy IV does give a 25% accuracy boost, and that cane will need that if he's going to be using that axe.
Yeah, and even if you aren't in love with the accuracy on some of this stuff here, the big axes, your rune axe and your poison axe, do sell for quite a bit of money. Good to finance purchases of, large amounts of Bacchus, good, nice things like that.
You find Mom Bomb in slot 1 here. Kind of a rude spot, because normally you only have 400 HP to deal with here. Mom Bomb, of course, comes with a whole heap of extra. And if you don't burn through it, you get punched to death by the babies.
Yeah.
So, Allie taking the wipe. We'll see if she goes back in for that rune axe again.
They
Nope.
keep there, and I would guess ordeals or the full defense at this point, even with the pan. No, heading straight to mount ordeals here. Don't blame her too much. Might have, taken a little bit of a heal there if possible, and maybe went back for it. And I would guess when maybe was looking for the item there, or just really wanted to ride a chocobo.
Allie memeing a little bit tonight, but again, everyone in this group's still in great shape, so don't take too much time. Finds another black belt key and a lightsaber. It's no crystal sword, but it is at least gear for a Cecil if we come across one.
Yep. And with the information, we do have Rosa in the Baron Inn, means, well, obviously we couldn't have found Cecil there, but we do have a perfectly good white mage and a perfectly good ogre axe in case you want to keep your cane a little bit more defensive, and that ogre axe has quite a good amount of hit percentage, so you don't have to throw him immediately in the center row there also as well there. So ogre axe a very good possible return for possible option for that rune axe that was left back in Baron there.
Oh yeah, and the fact that it's one-handed, you can pair a shield with it. It has the accuracy boost, and if you, so many runners love doing trap chests on this flag set. Gives you bonus damage versus mad ogres, versus stale men, a lot of the mainstays of that hook route.
Meanwhile, Rowdy Sniper has picked up his cane, and we'll see where he goes from here. Possibly take on that Baron or shift over to maybe doing the full defense here. And yep, that's exactly where he's going here.
Yeah, I like this play. You get the full heal. Roddy definitely needs a little more XP on this cane for him to really start rolling, which he will with that Dragoon Lance. And Allie about to regret having left that Rune Axe. Speaking of mage types, Asura is one, and think without it, you're really gonna need to lean into lifelock strats here, or do burn 2 of your 3 Star Veils to put a reflect up on her.
Yeah, it's Kane doing about 600 to jump there. I believe lifelock is probably the way to go here. Isn't hurting for damage here, but you just really don't want to see that face right there. You do not want her to sit on that face, because here comes Cure 4.
And all your work undone.
Yes, orange face bad, unless you've got that wall up.
Roddy here going to give us our first peek at football defense. Weapon Shop didn't have anything too appealing. Whole lot of arrows that have niche uses if you're stuck, but this team I don't think is going to have too many problems. Demonist here.
And the boss you'd love to see in almost any other flag set. You get your hopes up, and then you remember that the free key item is back on, and D-Mist is back to just being a regular boss that does not want to be hunted in the wild, just wanted to take a vacation at the bull, but no, here our adventurers are again.
For what it's worth, though, we mentioned this with the Alt Gauntlet, this is a fight that gets real obnoxious in late-game locations, just because of all its time spent in the mist phase. Even if it's not threatening, it's slow. So being able to get it done here in a zero-cycle fight, nothing wrong with that. Another one of those little check that off your list, one annoyance we won't be dealing with this seed.
Oh yeah, absolutely well done there, and just keeping it to a no cycle here. And it is it's a twin harp, so we might be getting that music real quick here this seed.
I will note that Allie burned both her starting exit items, one on Hobbs, one in Antlion. If we do end up having to take that route without an exit caster, Roddy will be very thankful to have kept one in the pocket, if he still has.
I mean, we could be checking for other exits in item shops, but even there, that's more money. Although Allisele has opted to go the route of dropping a couple Star Veils there, and especially your opening Star Veil stack, you can have, I believe, up to 5. Burning 2 on Asura is actually something you really don't want to do, if just because your Golbez, your Asura, your Wyvern bosses, you just really want those those resources for. So any star veils you can save, as I'm looking in Rowdy Roddy Sniper's inventory, they both started with 3, and as chat points out, there's Mute Knives here in Silvera, and Rowdy Roddy Sniper picks up one and is going to be extremely glad that he did, should he go up on Ordeals.
Oh yeah, I think we have Ordeal. Hey, there are those exit doors we mentioned. Roddy still has both of his though. Didn't even use one in Outline, may just not have realized it was there. Selling the Gungnir's for extra cash. Looks to be going for, oh, even more. We are not walking out of any dungeons today if we can help it. But yeah, the Mute Knife has been the biggest game changer here. I think the Rune Axe, if Ali had kept it, would also have been absolutely amazing here. But the Mute Knife has altered the course of more races this tournament than any other piece of gear, including the Adamant armor. I promise.
Oh yeah, just the big things it gets rid of: Asura, Baron guards, so you don't really have to burn resources on them. The second part of Elements, the Ruby spot, that there. Warlocks, if you want a Warlock grind up on the moon. Mad Ogres also carry a mage weakness. Plenty of things out there for that Mute Knight to do a whole bunch of work on.
Oh yeah. Do you find CPU at the back attack spot? This team, not that bad for it though. We do have Kane who can jump. We have Dancing Dagger, which ignores the wall. Yang can't do too much here, but we don't have a white mage, so someone needs to use Cure 2s on the team occasionally. Not the worst CPU fight I've seen.
I believe starting to fall into the whole annoying, but hey, we can do this, which seems to be this seed in a nutshell already.
Oh, and chat asking what's different about the Mute Knife in this tournament compared to previous. I think well, for one thing, it's really just confirmation bias. It feels like a lot of runners have run into fights where the quadruple damage it offers is so valuable, but I do think there are two factors. One is the increased prevalence of trap chest checks and the number of enemies you can use on it there. And the other one is Edge being an ungated character. Used to be, you would dig so deep in a seed before you got Edge. Here, you can have him as a starting character. You can have him on Mount Hobbs. He loves to have one of those right out the gate. So I think it's the Edge part that's really made that knife so it was so relevant this tourney.
Yeah, the fact that even a Mute Knife is probably somewhere between a middle and a long in terms of actual weapon power, even before it has the mage weakness, and it even buffs Edge's ninjutsu as well, given that +5 whiz boost on there as well, and it's a perfectly good weapon for most of the game.
Yeah. Ali has made it through that CPU fight nicely. Roddy here we see using a very cool strat, doing life locking. In most locations with how the ATB works, if you just wait for the gray face to use life 1, you take a swing, she rotates right back to life 1. So Roddy through without burning a Star Veil. We'll see if that comes in clutch later in the seed.
Still getting some good news. Hadn't done that for Bull Defense here. Sees the Leviathan there, but more finds that Magma Key, which does mean that's going to be a single trip there with that pan going back to Fabul here. So I would assume that pan's going to get traded in for almost immediately as soon as Allisele gets down to the underground. I'm guessing actually Rowdy Roddy Sniper is going to do the same. That's just too many key item checks to leave pending for a while.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, although Roddy will have double-dipped Fabul, going there, looting a little bit, getting some levels on Kane, swinging by Silvera and finding that Mute Knife for sell to help with the Asura fight. Not a huge time loss on Roddy's part, so both going to be very happy that they're not going down a hook route here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, happy they're not going down a hook route, but I mean, if either one of ours once won, Rowdy Roddy Sniper does have that crystal sword, and the question is, does Allisele ever go to Evelyn to find that crystal sword in case Cecil does show his face somewhere?
I think with the lightsaber she pulled, probably not. I think if Allie's going to get an upgrade for that Cecil, it's either going to be by foraging or just getting lucky from a boss pull down the road. But I don't know. People love their Evelyn Castle. If we find Hourglasses for sale underground, every chest there becomes free for this team. But also, knowing you have underground access, you're on a clock against your opponent so much with how much power can be found on these seats.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like if we go down to Dwarf Castle early and, like Foo's camping there or, something like that.
So with that magma key, we now have 4 free item checks, pardon me. There is the rat tail chest in Feymarch, there's the sylph item, and then 2 at Sheila. So we're about to see the geography of this seed come into the focus very soon here once we make this underground loop.
Yep, just a little bit of shopping here first. I mean, Charm Claws, extra Gungnir's going by the wayside here. Both of our runners do have a significant chunk of money to buy some of those good J items or other weapons and armor as we head down. I mean, we do have that Yang in the party here. If you see Cat Claws, do you snap them up right now and say, hey, Yang, we're taking you to the end here?
I think it depends a lot upon your objective set. And I think this one, where we do have, 8, 9 required key items, there's at least 1 moon check that we know we're going to be doing. No, I still don't. Cat Claws cost a lot. Let's wait and see how things shape up just a little bit more first.
I mean, you can get 2 Cat Claws before you even buy 1 Ninja Sword, 60k to 66k there, so...
Yeah,
they cost a bit.
I think at this point I'm far more interested in buying hourglasses and maybe sirens and coffins. I want hourglasses so bad on this flag set. Give me all the trap chests.
Yeah, on the spec side, I see you want the hourglasses. I have one where I say, give me the largest crate of Bacchus wine I can carry / afford. But anyway, Allisele is heading to the Land of Summons here, not opening any chests on the way here. Sometimes some good stuff here, but both of them have looted quite a bit. Does get Return of the Revenge of the Runex here in the Feymarch, though.
And this team's been throwing sorcerer robes out left and right. Shame we don't have any mages to equip them. And that's the other half of objective number 1. So that will be an Excal for Allie and access to the Kakul shop. But first, it's wine time.
Wine time, and Allisele picks up a 10-pack here, and I totally do not blame her whatsoever here. Gonna sell that lightsaber, which is actually probably a really good idea, because guess what? I mean, wait, was that a whistle pickup?
Yeah. That is appeal to the restreamer right there.
I mean, I do love this tune, however...
Hoping some of the Scala luck will rub off on her for the duration of the seed.
But anyway, we are likely to get a peek as to who is in our Feymarch here. We do have to fight the King slot, which is on the left side here. And wow, that's paging Dr. Cecil. That will make that Dark Elf ridiculously free there. Incredibly weak to holy weaponry, and one runner has a crystal sword, and the other one has a Excalibur as soon as she decides to forge there. So both the runners now definitely hunting for that Cecil.
Spear. That's our 4th Gungnir we've seen this seed. Side-by-side chests in the Feymarch. Lots of money to buy more stuff at this point. Why do the spears keep increasing?
Kane just cannot decide on which Gungnir he likes the best here.
Anyway, I'm a little surprised here. Roddy here is going to Baron first. If you can get this Rosa, that's really nice, because if you can grind underground, if we find sirens for sale, and you can pop an egg or 2, getting a white mage up and running is really good. But at the same time, this team feels a little dubious to be handling the Baron in checks. See Antlion here in slot 2. This is a very punchy spot. We'll see if Roddy can get through all 4,000 HP before his team tumbles.
Yeah, punchy, but a little slow. The good news is his team is at least built a little bit in the HP department, as Yang can take a hit here. And between jumps and power punches, it was the only see arty arrows as the first part of the turn-in for that pan here. So not terrible, But oh my, that's a lot of J items at the bottom there. I'm pretty sure Rowdy Roddy Sniper has this here.
Oh yeah. The Artemis arrows are really good for Allie here, though she doesn't know it. Roddy, of course, got that Dragoon Lance out of the Eblin Castle. And having any means of getting that quad damage versus dragons can speed up so many fights. Although Allie's only archer right now is Edward, we know there's a Rosa and Baronin. Any bow plus those arty arrows is going to do really good work versus dragons.
Very much so, and down goes Antlion here as Allisele's about to pick up the forge here. Out of our key item here in Baron to go with that Rosa is, oh well, that's a hook, and I would assume that's going to be checked almost immediately, if just for the character here.
Yeah, gated character checks. That's our first gated character check that we have access to Dwarf Castle via Magma Key, so we have access to 2 gated character checks right now, and they can be so huge. You get that early Fu, you get that early Cecil, and notably Roddy with a crystal sword. Oh, boy howdy, you are dishing out the damage.
Very much so. Even then, do have white mage sticks in at least that silence staff I didn't see get picked up there. I did see crystal rings. I did see, what else did I see in the shop here? Stardust rods. Again, no black magic casters for that. And Rowdy Roddy Sniper immediately dragging that hovercraft over here. Also gonna get a look at those gated item shops here over in Eblin. Could be sirens, could be any of that other good stuff here as well.
Oh yeah. Lots of reasons to visit here. And of course, we know Roddy bought a few extra exit items, so you don't even have to walk back out when you get to the character. Admittedly, you know, a lot of, like, Tella would come with exit. Fu at this point probably has it, but just knowing that it's there for you to work right back out is real nice.
I'll be right back. I have to answer a phone call here real quick, so I'll be right back.
Hey, sounds good. Allie here, saving outside of Fabul, just in case things go awry. May not be familiar with the fact that you do get a full heal here before the first fight and after it. Okay, running right in, so that's good. And we do find the Sirens in Eblin. That is huge. Sirens, of course, facilitating very speedy grinds, especially if you have that Dragoon Spear on Kane. Yellow Dragon Eggs in the underground, giving 34,000 XP apiece, being able to do quadruple damage to them. That's your grind right there. Allie will be heading into the Demist fight. We'll have to wait a moment to know what those Sheila rewards are.
Hi, Inven. I did a thing.
You did a thing?
I made it so that way chat can hear me too.
Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. Shoutouts to Scala Kitty, rolling the spear seed.
Needed more spear. You have to have your team spear it. I stole that one from chat, I'm sorry.
Spear's looking at you, Scala. And we do see Tella there, and Roddy's saying, no, I'm good. Actually holding on to the Edward here. Well,
Oh, no,
maybe
go
reconsidering?
ahead.
Okay. Tella has great utility, of course. Eddie can end up dishing out tons of damage if you get a spoon, adamant armor, things of that nature, but... Allie equalizing on the Twin Harp receipt.
And just an old man in the back of Cave Eblin here. Not who we were looking for here. I mean, still gonna take him here because does have more utility than an Edward at this point, at least.
Yeah, for now. But let's see what these Sheila items are. A spoon and a pink tail changes that significantly. Avenger's nice. You may have bought all that wine, but Kane doesn't even need it anymore. And a power shirt. You know, Allie, I know, prefers to let Cecil go burr, but this looks like the Kane train's coming, baby. Choo choo.
Okay.
I am plugging both of those onto that cane right now, and never removing them, probably.
I am going to vanish back into the shadows, but I'm stealing one more pun from chat, which is that these puns have been inspirational. Thanks,
All right,
chat.
bye, Scala.
Bye.
Twitch chat, you're the worst.
I dare them to come up with better right now.
Anyway, we see Roddy here dealing with the inventory boss. Still looting. Remember, go to shops, sell your stuff sometimes. Otherwise, you see that screen, and then you have to start pondering. What are you keeping? What are you ditching? It's really great when you forget to do that before looting the treasury with the Earth Crystal. Oh, the pain.
Oh man, that's I am really bad about that Earth Crystal in the sense that if I know I'm going to go check that Earth Crystal, I am stopping in those item shops and I am like cleaning out like 2/3 of my inventory. Everything must go.
Allie's back here for a second go at the Baron Inn. Does have Avenger Cane rolling, which makes me wonder, are we fast enough and strong enough to kill this mom bomb before the explosion? It'd be real nice not to deal with those baby bombs.
I mean, even Oz at this point, Kane chopping for about 1,200 a shot here, 1,500 on a high roll, and getting so many swings. Yep, there he goes.
Yeah, Allie with all the vengeance, but you know what other enemy doesn't care for your Avenger tactics? Well, it doesn't really matter if you're going to kill it in roughly 3 hits, does it?
No, not especially. 4 if you're completely unlucky, and those counters shouldn't be too bad. Eddie's saying, I don't want any part of these counterattacks. Getting the heck out of the way here as a very angry Kane gets there eventually. Airline does his best to try and stop it, but cannot here.
And Roddy, meanwhile, going back for more olive here in the Eblin pantry. We have 3 Mad Ogres, but not seen hourglasses. We got those sirens, which are really great, but you have this magma key here. These could be completely free, but still taking a little bit of a risk here. We see that Rosa taking a tumble. Of course, a single adamant armor gets you going in such a strong way. It's hard to turn this place down.
Yeah, going for those charm claws that do the same there is rolling over to the rune axe there, is going for the effective damage, which is the way to go here if you're going to be taking these. But yeah, as you say, is going for stop with Tella, is probably going to get there, but yeah, again, could have just made this entirely free if, again, has access to 4 out of the 5 gated shops. We know Bacchus is in one of them, but yeah, just to get that off the ground here. And again, it does feel a little greedy. Already has the crystal sword out of here. You're looking to spike an adamant. You're looking to spike an Avenger that you don't know is already on the pan here. And, and well, I mean, the rich get richer, I guess.
Yep. And throws 2 items away, makes a little inventory space. That's going on that Kane in a hurry. He's your DPS at this point in the seed.
By the way, I thought of a pun, and I did it without chat.
We're listening.
No one expects the Spanish Spearquisition.
She'll be here all night, everybody.
I really hope that every 5 minutes, Scala just has come up with a new spear pun. And just, oh, by the way. But wait, there's more.
One could say they're inspirational.
Exactly. Alright, I'll go back to letting you two actually do the job you're supposed to be doing.
I mean, no one's making technical progress right now. Roddy's still going on the loot goblin mode, has the adamant armor once more. Won't be getting a key item out of here. Allie really wants to know if this is a Cecil down here. She's in for disappointment.
And then, what's
Yes,
their
Scott.
favorite type of gum?
What is their favorite type of gum, Scala?
It's spearmint.
Why didn't you say trident? Trident.
Both are good. Both are good. That's 2 different
Okay.
ways to approach the same joke. I like that.
Back in the classic roguelike game NetHack, you can actually eat the trident weapon, and it is described as pure chewing satisfaction.
That's beautiful.
more
That-
you know.
I appreciate it. The more you know.
Bahamut summon out of here. Already going to take that as well, swapping it for something else. Ooh. I want to go to a shop yesterday.
Shut up and
there
take
we
my
go.
inventory, yes.
Evelyn, full cleared. You got your adamant armor. You got all the weapons for Kane. You are ready to slay. You do the pan stuff. You're gonna get an Avenger as well. Roddy doesn't even need to do any more looting the seed. Immensely strong, immensely powerful. Let's see where he goes next.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, Robbie has checked that. I mean, if I am Roddy here, I don't even care if I have the Earth Crystal just appear in my hand right now and I'm at Troya. I'm not checking that. I have everything I could ever want.
Yeah, you have an adamant armor. Well, yeah. You have the adamant armor. You have a crystal sword. Your Kane is rocking a dragoon lance. Dragoon lance. You know, I guess while we're seeing all this inventory management, we can talk over the Kane debate a bit, right? White lance is his highest attack power weapon, but it has the accuracy of a lot of spears, so defense sword's better damage for him against a normal enemy until you reach high levels. But just Dragoon Lance is my baby on these flags. Just getting that quad damage versus dragons, especially if you like doing Moon Trap Chest. Just give me a Dragoon Lance and I'm good for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, and it's hard, honestly, for me. I mean, I love a good Dragoon Lance, don't get me wrong. But if I have an Avenger in my pocket, it's just hard to not, to just take the Avenger out of my pocket for a while here and just not just set everything to blend immediately.
Allie here, going to take a little more loot out of Eblin Cave before continuing on her adventures. Roddy here has cleaned up shop a little bit, but just a little bit. Got about 7 slots down there at the bottom. And we are throwing on the Iron Arrow to guarantee Rosa is paralyzed at the start of the fake Dark Elf fight. I love to see it. That is thinking ahead right there.
Of things you may have not known weighed you down, yes, iron arrows. But did you know that in case you need to get one of your lady casters down, a tiara will also count as metallic and weigh you down?
Oh yeah. Allie here taking the 2 Staleman chests. I don't think Roddy did this one, so this will be a new piece of random chest loot for us anyway.
Hard to pass it up when you have Avenger Kane doing Avenger things here. Again, I just kind of wonder, Allie really wants Cecil to be somewhere really buried here, like, say the Giant here, because she doesn't want Rowdy Roddy Sniper picking up that absolutely real ultimate power. And hey, a Cat Claw, that's useful.
You say that, but Allie's favorite thing on this flag set is to have a Zerker Cecil doing a Crystal Sword or Excal Cecil zerked up. So it won't surprise me if she heads to Dwarf Castle before Twin Harp.
Really like a Dwarf Castle play, yes.
Although, it's called the Adamant Cup. I guess you're not allowed to play the game until you have an Adamant armor.
Well, the good news is Allise's going to Eblin Castle and is going to find all 3 of those chests here in the right tower.
Yeah.
So, gonna get the gift of that crystal sword, going to get that adamant armor, and yeah.
Well, while Allie catches up on the loot front, Roddy's gonna give you all the Twin Harp tunes of the night. We're gonna enjoy the music as well, chat, and we'll see you right after this song.
But can you name that tune in 3 notes?
3 notes. Pshaw. Who needs 3 notes?
Well, sure, if we give you that one.
Masamune from the room here. No edge yet to use it. I don't think we even have... I guess the best second weapon we have is that mute knife, which is fantastic for him admittedly, but edge staying kind of hidden this seed. Ali got that crystal sword, going to be happy to get the adamant armor soon as well.
It's just where does everybody turn up right now? And if I were either one of these runners now, I'm kind of on the fence about the fence on the twin harp. Not an objective, not really of anything here at the moment. So I might have let that one lie here. But again, if I'm either one of these runners, I have an Avenger Cane, I have a decent amount of levels, I have Sirens if I really want to. I think it's long past time with all the power that could be in Dwarf Castle to just take a character check and see who's down there.
Yeah, well, Roddy hasn't equalized on the freebie loop that culminates in that Avenger, so we may see him going for those. We'll of course get access to that #1 objective. If Ali, getting her adamant armor by the way, elects to fade Twin Harp, these runners are basically neck and neck again.
I think they are actually neck and neck right now with the extra checks here, is the last chest here with the Bahamut summon isn't really going to take Ali all that long here. And then equalize through that, and yeah, you'll see them both converge. I can't really pick out a clear leader either way yet, honestly.
Well, we know Twin Harp is a bit costly if you go for it right now. So just fade Twin Harp, right?
I mean, there's some runners in here who might tell you to fade Twin Harp every time, and I haven't seen them in chat here, unfortunately.
Anyway, here we go. Roddy gonna go the egg route. I really do like this with the Dragoon Lance. Like, you can get so much power on your team in a hurry here. Ali here not going for the immediate character check, is looking to be heading to Twin Harp as well. I like the Encore. But, ooh, knowing that a Cecil can be waiting in Dwarf Castle, I would be salivating at the prospect of getting that Crystal Sword Adamant online.
Oh, very much so. And while that Masamune at the end isn't a bad piece of gear here, it's not exactly what we're looking for either.
Yeah, I mean, we have every weapon for Kane except a Defense Sword. You have both your Holy Lance and your Dragoon Lance and an Avenger. Yang doesn't really care that much about gear, and even if he does, well, you have your Cat Claw for the long run. So, yeah. You might be hard-pressed to even take an edge this seed if you find Cecil first.
Good news is Allisele does pull even on the Cursed Ring front. Did find them for sale here in Troya here. Did unfortunately miss the job dwarf check, although I did see it was checked, so we do have validation from Rowdy Roddy Sniper here.
Doing it for the fans. We got a whistle slung on one side and a job dwarf on the other. What's not to like? Nothing worth buying in this shop for Roddy. Why buy the Leviathan when you got the Bahamut in Eblin already? And also, you know, no Rydia.
I mean, that last part's a little more important there. I mean, much of a fan as I am, yeah, her time with all this hardware that we picked up in this seed is kind of past here, unless she's like exactly in Dwarf Castle, given they both have a cursed ring. I just really don't see her making the party at this point.
Yeah, and we do see Ali heading to Magnus. We will get that reprise, but Roddy here, provided this is not merely a shopping junket, we will be seeing this character soon. Adamant armor on this team, you're going to be able to get through these fights. Kane can even, like, the nastiest one is probably a Val in slot 1. So I think the team's well poised to take care of this Dwarf Castle.
Yeah. About the only other thing I could think of is everybody's favorite Blarg in slot 2, perhaps, but just looks like some Dimps in slot 1. That should be easy pickings for both parties here.
Now, I will note that we don't have any really good, like, AoE sweepers here, you know? So it's not like you can just... I guess Tella could conceivably land a stone cast if you're lucky. But yeah, this is all going to be about the physical damage, tearing through things bit by bit by bit, it seems.
Kind of has been the story of group flags here, as it's just pretty much it has pretty much been more of a get your berserkers in order and let your casters just kind of ride the bench here. I will say I have definitely experimented a little bit with the bracket flags, where it does seem to be, you know, not completely the opposite, but definite teams getting, our black mages getting a little bit more sway in there. So yeah, no real sweepers, but again, with a party setup, shouldn't really need it too much. But here comes that stone anyway, and no thank you.
Tella living his best life. He tries, but you know, there's only so much you can do when you have a cursed ring on. And these imps being rather punchy here, starting to tear through Roddy's HP totals. Does he get it on the rebound? No, 2 whiffs from the Sage. Kind of rough.
Yeah, so much only a cursed Tella can do, even if he is in that accuracy bonus spot there in the middle here. And yeah, despite cures from Rosa coming out, just taking a little while to actually get through this fight here.
And meanwhile, we are getting that Twin Harp reprise, and I think everyone loves Mamoalo Flamenco so much, but keep your eyes on Roddy's screen. Let's see what character and key item we get here.
Can I tell you all one more joke before we go to music?
Go on.
So I'm making up this bread, and I'm making sure to braid it really nicely. Yeah, it's a challah bread.
Alright, Allie gave us that lovely Twin Harp reprise, and in the meantime, Rowdy Roddy Sniper found the hero of group flags. That is Cecil in Dwarf Castle. We have a crystal sword. We have an adamant armor. That puts Allie on a clock. The good news for her is she's probably going to Dwarf Castle next and will equalize. Roddy still has to loop through these freebies, but that Cecil is going to trivialize the entire seed going forward.
Yeah, one person in chat actually asking, why ditch the Kayn over Yong? I would guess it is probably exactly the Avenger at this point. I would guess that Rowdy Roddy Sniper plans on just Avenger glitching that Crystal Sword just about at any point he can.
Roddy doesn't have an Avenger. Roddy doesn't know that's out there.
An Avenger.
Yeah, and I think that's actually why you would ditch Kayn for Yong there. If I have the Avenger, I kind of like leaving it on Kayn and manually zerking Cecil, just so that you, especially with, we know Wine is going to be in Feymarch. Well, he doesn't know that. We know that. So, like, in Allie's case, I would rather do Kayn and Cecil, leave the Avenger on Kayn, let Cecil zerk up each fight via Wine or by Rosa casting Zerk, and that way you're not going into your equipment menu after every single fight.
Very much agreed at that point, and I would guess that's probably what Allisele's going to do, knowing it has the Avenger there. And we have our Darkness Crystal, we have our Moon access here in Dwarf Castle, so Dwarf required even, so both are eventually going to get that Cecil regardless. And Roddy buying a ninja sword, not an insignificant cost there, but it is signaling that should Edge arrive, Edge has a spot in this party, I'm guessing.
Yeah, with the Masamune, if Edge is on the moon, I have no qualms swapping that Yang for him. That is completely understandable in my book. But at the same time, you don't need any of this. You got your Cecil, you got your Rosa. Dream power couple. Let's go.
Oh, absolutely. And to answer that one last, by all means, please ask more questions in chat. We are here to add information as well as commentary here. So no question too small to ask.
Roddy seeing that Sork robe. That's a nice piece of gear for Rosa. Of course, gonna get the legend. Nose Forges on the table. Not that you really care about the Excalibur, but you know. Objective, it will be doable very soon.
I mean, you still care about the Coco shop a little bit, maybe, but...
And I will also note here, Roddy has a team that can go ahead and kill that king spot while he's down here. He doesn't have to revisit the Fey March at all. That Cecil is ready to do some work.
Oh, absolutely. And I would have actually went to the point where I would have said, hey, you know, that whole point where, yes, these seeds do come up with a large amount of grinding opportunities, but when it comes down to it, when you need that XP right now, I really like taking a couple Sirens, especially right before the Fey March, just in case I can just sweep it and never come back.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, Roddy doesn't know that it's Dark Elf down here yet. Definitely, though, sees it. I think this team can handle that fight just fine. The Adamant armor means that the triple spell doesn't do anything. You can hear up whoever gets hit by the 1 week. And Cecil, even at level 16 here, will be doing just ungodly amounts of damage to that Dark Elf.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Crystal Sword not do quad 9s to a Dark Elf, even from level 1 Cecil. So, anyway, Yang going away for Allisele. In comes Cecil. So we have Angry Dragoon and sometimes Angry Paladin here. Really on Roddy's heels there. And again, up a pan check, down a little bit of time. So our runners definitely not entirely in lockstep, but very close to one another here.
Oh yeah, I think a bit of this is really going to come down to... I feel that with the sheer power level here, it's going to come down to something like someone does Keyless Tower before going Moon and gets a big payoff for it. Someone does Fey March. Like, we know that the Octomammoth's not quite required, although Roddy going for the fight anyway. Could be a situation where if you do one of these fights but not the other, it also has a similar payoff. So someone's going to skip something or route something a little different, and it's going to be a big payoff. Because right now, party power level, huge on both fronts.
Yeah, actually leaving that Cecil unberserked, went to berserk that Yang here, leaving that Cecil in cover mode, and I don't think that Yang's had a turn since that re-berserk, so that Yang actually might be a little mimic glitched at this point. Doesn't happen only on the Zeromus fight here, unfortunately.
Yep, it is a tricky thing. Now, the party setup here for Roddy is fantastic, though. Being able to have this Adamant Cecil cover the entire team. He's only going to get punched for one. No one else is going to have to worry about it. But like you said, Zerking Yang, before he re-entered the queue, he is not going to do anything here unless you manually knock him back down.
Yep, so meanwhile, Darkness Crystal in Allisele's hands, as well as that Cecil, so we are equalized on party members. Kane on Allisele's side, Yang on Roddy's side here, so really just going to come down to, like you said, a little bit more execution, a little more guessing. I do like this Fey March play here, just to get it kind of in and just out of the way here, as both bosses, especially with that Crystal Sword Adamant Cecil, just really going to fold eventually here, as we still do get lit 3s from Tella, as they, you know, again, that Octoman really can't hurt anybody, but yeah, taking a little more time than you'd want due to that Yang just declaring nap time, let's say.
we do see Allie taking advantage of the back row glitch to go ahead and make that Cecil able to hit anything from anywhere. He's back row with an Adamant armor. He's not really taking meaningful damage for... Well, you say that and then you run into Wyvern, of course, but he's in great shape in Allie's back line. And it's just a question of now, where do you go? You have the power. Which objectives do you chase, or do you try to get cheeky?
I mean, I'm already down here. I can clean out the Fey March. I really don't like Keyless Tower. I never really have, unless I get like exactly a key. Unless I actually, get exactly the key or the tower key in, one of these checks here. That's really hard. I clean out the Fey March and then just kind of decide based on whatever items I get as Octavamp does finally go down here. And what do we get?
That is a spoon. It's not the dream. With this team, we're not going to be going back for Edward unless we're just going completely memeing. But it does get us one closer to 10 key items. If Rowdy does intend to swap that Yang for an edge on the moon, fantastic throwable. I mean, that's what it did in the original game, of course. So you don't hate it, but at the same time, that was a lot of time on that Octomammoth fight.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a little bit of peace of mind knowing you don't have to come back here, but, when you get it and you get that little womp womp in your head. Meanwhile, I'll say, taking a few of these eggs here, gonna give that Cecil even more power heading down below here. And even more that Kane just, again, does have a power shirt and other strength boosting items, so... even Avenger Kane is going to do very good damage here as, what was that, just 2 eggs there, plenty there, as Allisele is defying my expectations here and going straight back up. Is Allisele headed to the moon? No,
Looks like it.
Well,
Just had to find Mysidia.
Yep.
So, gonna lean into the Cecil, gonna go moon.
Yeah.
Look at that Cecil go. Look at that crunch. Yang punches for 654, for 816, Cecil goes quad 9.
He's just kind of really hoping for the, Yang to trigger the mean change here, just so Cecil can get to work on the second phase of the fight there.
So Allie does leave that King at the Town of Monsters fight hanging. Of course, that fight will be a lot easier once you have levels from the moon, but kind of hoping that it's not getting something important here. Like, if it's something like Rat Tail into Baron Key into Tower Key, and the moon's just mostly haunted, this is a big turning point.
Now, however, if all this junk is up on the moon, however, that's a turning point the other way as well. So, I mean, gambles we have here as Roddy is showing off that the second form of Dark Elf does drop the boss bit and is vulnerable to weak, so that last swap from Cecil did about 99, 90, let's say 4 more than necessary.
And there's a huge payoff for Roddy. Destroying the super cannon required the seed. There's the tower key for it. Roddy 100% going to do Babel before going moon. And if these 2 key item slots have a bigger payoff, that marks a ton of danger for Allie.
Yeah, let's say, I mean, we need a package, we need a Rat Tail, we need a Baron Key. So, let's say, you pick up Baron Key and, package and Mist, Rat Tail, perhaps... or not Mist, but both those in Baron. I mean, this is still to the point where leaving the blue planet may not be entirely necessary, but we are going to see the moon character check here. What exactly is Allisele going to find here on the moon, or rather who? And we find...
That's not Edge, so that's kind of good for Allie. Roddy, of course, looked to be planning a character swap at some point. Has the Masamune, has the Ninja Blade, has the Spoon for throwing. So honestly, I think this is a good thing for Allie. Because I think this Kane is going to be better than Roddy's Yang for a very long time this season.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would have considered Sid possibly as an anchor there, considering you have Cecil and Kane doing all the heavy lifting. Rosa and really your fourth character could just be somebody with a curse ring at this point, and Sid is an extremely good person to be that somebody with a curse ring.
Oh yeah, but you have to swap your team out. You'd have to do re-equipping, and with the inventory clog both our runners are dealing with tonight, I like just sticking with what you got.
Oh yeah, I'm more playing devil's advocate there. I probably would have done the same thing. Roddy's showing us Val up at the top of the tower, and actually that's a really good place to find Val there. It really doesn't carry much of her evasion at all. Definitely not her magic evade. You can hit her definitely with magic up there, but again, really just berserk up, and really she doesn't have a huge amount of threat up at the top here.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how the randomization algorithm works, because Val at the Lugay spot ends up with no magic evade in this tornado form. You can hit her with any spell. But Lugay and Balnab at the Dark Elf spot are... A lot of bosses at the Dark Elf spot only end up at like a 254 magic evade, but they also actually get like the full 255, and you can't even hit with, you know, like a slow spell, for instance. It's kind of interesting. That's neither here nor there. What we do have is Crystal Sword Cecil doing Crystal Sword Cecil things. Blink makes this party immune to anything Val would like to do to them, and Allie is going right for the LST. I like it. I like it.
I mean, if you're gonna go to the moon, you may as well just make that huge play here, going straight to. I mean, it's the White Spirit Altar is an objective, so let's just go ahead and get it right out of the way first here. And we have a something that can be beat with that hourglass too. That's just sitting right there, or those coffins.
Oh, I will. Oh well, there is another cute thing that it's really good that I mean, Cecil counts for it as well, but Ran on the Moon here with a Rosa who doesn't know exit and no pass. A word to all the runners who are advancing to brackets flags. Do not lose your race on the back of going to the LST without a way of getting out of the LST. I fear that's going to happen to someone, and it's going to be heartbreaking, and I really hope I'm not on commentary when it does.
That is the angriest little Kane I have ever seen.
You have 3 more coffins. We want... Is this just... Allie is purposely humiliating Kane. That's
I don't know. It feels like the whole my honor has been insulted, death by crystal sword now.
I just want Kane to feel bad. That's the entire theme of that fight right there.
Meanwhile, I did miss what we got on top of the tower there, and unfortunately, there's a boss you really don't want to see in the super cannon room, just because Golbez is inside, practicing his monologue, hamming it up here as he's firing the Orbit Cannon.
Yeah, the Lugay spot was just a Murasame, which, if you have a Masamune and a Ninja Blade, doesn't make a huge difference in things. And Allie got an Artemis Bow, which, hooray. Not what we're looking for either.
I mean, here we did have a heroine robe, and, you know, Rosa would, I mean, we do have heroine already between the two runners, if memory serves here, but again, we have plenty of ways to deal damage to the enemy, and well, that's pretty free.
Well, you say that.
I mean, free adjacent.
But I think Allie has walked into this fight at battle speed 1, and we're only getting our first swing off at the number 3. 1 star Vel left because of the 2 spent on Asura.
And I don't know if Rosa actually knows a manual. Oh, never mind. There's another second 10 right there.
Yeah. However, Cecil and Kane both gonna fall down here. Gonna have to reset the fight.
Now, getting Kane up, who does have that Avenger stuck to him already, if memory still serves here, will be fine, but getting that Cecil up and moving here, again, don't want to Mimic Glitch him. Need to get him back into the queue before reapplying that Berserk here, but you really don't want him to lose out on the XP here, and that's exactly what happened as that Mega Nuke knock down everybody else who was part of this fight here. So only Rosa and Tella getting that 100,000 XP here. And that Pinktail, while really, really nice, is another Adamant armor, but no objective there.
Yeah. I thought Allie was about to swag walk to the Ogo altar with Kane and Cecil lying on the floor. I'm like, hold on, let's take a breather. Let's think about this.
Yeah.
And that's the stack of cabins, so surprised to see the magic menu being open here.
Real quick though, again, our reward for turning that tower key as has been kind of displayed here earlier. See, I hear you like spears, and that was yet another Dragoon spear to add to the pile here.
That's also a really good sign for Allie here, because we now know that Roddy's only payoff was a pure objective chain. So if Allie finds, well, and Allie will find all the other required items here on the moon, that means when she goes back, she only has to go directly to Dark Elf, which then gives her tower key. She doesn't have to do the fight at the top of Lower Babel either. That's 2 boss fights that by doing Moon first, she gets to avoid back on the blue planet. That's huge.
Yep, we have dealers in the Ogo spot. Do want to be careful about Berserking Cecil here. Now, Berserk Cecil will do quad 9's worth of damage here, but these viruses, oh wait, I mean, Edge is also, or Kane is also Berserked here, so the wall script is going to fire here, and this is some pretty mean magic power they're going to be coming out on these viruses here, so...
They'll do like 6,000 a pop, right?
Somewhere between 4 and 6, I'm pretty sure. 4205, yeah.
Yeah. I think this is a fight where you take the Avenger off, you put the Dragoon Lance on, you let both Cecil and Kane do big hits here, if you even intend to activate that wall script. It might just be better to I don't know, it's kind of tricky here. Do you go pure YOLO, and maybe jump with Kane, Zerg Cecil, or do you wait and go for full Froggy strats?
If I am just going to YOLO it, I'm going to let Kane jump, and I'm going to take Cecil and have him melee the one that Kane jumped at, after Kane lands, of course. At that spot should be almost enough, if not enough, to just deal with the one straight up there. If you can remove one from the board, the virus counters go away. Now, you are dealing with fire counters, but if you just Berserk Cecil there, it should take 2 hits, maybe 3. I can't remember the exact hit points at this location here, but it does look like, okay, gonna get things moving with Cure 3s from Rosa here as well.
Oh, you know what'd be fun? You know that Arty Heroine you were talking about a moment ago? The aim command doesn't activate their counter either. We have 2 big ways of doing dragon damage. I think an aim, a jump, and a Cecil swing kills one.
Yeah, that would definitely do it.
But that involves re-equipping Rosa. Who has time for such things? Here we go. There comes the wine.
But yeah, I think if you are going to get this up here, just focusing your firepower on one of the 2 just to get it out of the way so you aren't eating multiple viruses has to be the way to go here.
Oh, and chat pointing out to us, Allie put the wrong spear on Kane. Put the Holy Lance on, which does not get bonus damage here. They have they do not have a holy weakness. They have an undead weakness and a dragon weakness.
Now, the good news is Cecil decided to double tap the one that died there, so while Kane will drop the fire counters here, Cecil should get through here. Is not going to bring Kane up for the XP here, but again, through the fight, and sometimes that's just all that matters here, as Roddy is launching the whale here, and Arty arrows. We heard you wanted more Arty arrows.
You know, it's fine. the big thing here, I think, is we know that there are 2 boss fights Allie's going to get to avoid. You're not getting double XP, but Roddy's not going to be getting double XP either. Ended up at only 9 key items before coming Moon. You still have a minor stack of Sirens left for eggs back on the blue planet. So even if you miss the XP on a few of these fights, it's not hard to get your team back up to Zeromus ready. And frankly, your team's Zeromus ready with Cecil at like level 35 with this loadout, right?
If you're really concerned about it, we have Dragoon Lances, we have Hourglasses, we have Sirens, Gold Dragons are on the table too.
Oh yeah. Lots of ways to get your XP. But now, does Roddy go directly to the objective spot, or does he elect to change up the moon routing a little bit? Lack of a pass here, I think, always has to be a consideration, but you still have 4 objectives left, so maybe it's not that big of a consideration.
Yeah, at 9 key items, I am sorely tempted to either just top down or even take a stop into cave value first, actually. Especially given all the key items that both of our runners do need to pick up as well here.
And ooh, now this is a fight that I would say Roddy would have an advantage for, but I don't see a Thunderclaw around, do you?
I don't think I saw one either here, and Odin getting real punchy here, especially dealing with that front row cane. Again, I thought one of them did pick up a Dwarf Axe somewhere, but the question is, how much damage is this Sensitsuken going to do in the Crystal Sword spot?
I don't think it's enough to kill Cecil. So I think we will see one Odin, but I think Cecil will live.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think that was enough, Knight 2.
I mean, I know this spot's magic wasn't all that great, but that was a little laughable. And oh, hey, here's your pass, by the way.
Lovely thing to find. Allie's done with the bottom of the moon, but you know what's weird about this? Cave Bahamut and the vanilla Murasame altar are gating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 key items between those 2 spots.
Oh yeah, that means very likely the Baron key, the Earth Crystal, and the Luca key either all are in play, or at least some of them are in play.
Yeah, but now I think this is a good news for Roddy, right? Because we mentioned that Allie has, by virtue of full clearing Moon first, that's 2 boss fights that she just doesn't have to do, period. But if all these Earth checks are linear, that gives Roddy time to catch back up, just in case there's one that gives Allie a hiccup, or there's one that his party comp is just better suited to handling.
Meanwhile, we have some hair dryers. I love hair dryers most of the time.
Cecil here going to be doing full cover strats for the team. No one's going to take a hit, really. But I mean, isn't going to exactly be that quick either. I think this is just bleeding time to Allie here, who... That's Cecil doing Cecil things, right?
Yeah, I mean, you are invincible here. That's the good part, but you're also not exactly killing the enemy as fast as you could. Meanwhile, we get some elements here at the Murasame spot. Kind of curious, actually, as to Allisele is keeping that White Spear online instead of that Avenger. After the D-Lunars, I may have gone back to just putting the Avenger back in Kane's hands there, though.
Well, let's see. We have seen D-Mist. We've not seen Pain Man. Funny thing is that the Pain Man, the Dark Knight Cecil mirror fight, I think you may actually just be able to kill before all the Dark Waves get you anyway, given the Crystal Sword Cecil.
Oh yeah, between him and an Avenging Kane, it should be pretty academic so long as, again, you don't fight him on Cave Bahamut pretty much. And I mean, at that point, unfortunately, I really hope we've got some like Cure 3s there, and we find was that a Bahamut in just a chest of the Lunar Path there?
Maybe. I'm just focused on this fight over here. Allie very cleanly just sturking through this Elements fight. Everything is in cave value. There are 6 key items gated by cave value alone. Get your butt to Cave Bahamut. Let's see what this could be one long chain. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, as has been said many times before, there is always value in the Bahamut stand.
So the only proverbial key, well, the only actual key item we got in the Lunar Subterrane was the pink tail, and the only proverbial one was the pass, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean, we are guaranteed. This is pretty much has to be exactly either the Earth Crystal, the Baron Key, or the Luca Key at this point.
And this is going to be a big advantage for Allie. I think the key thing that she has to do here is just keep the objectives in mind. And keep in mind what value she is finding on the moon. The way she gets into the weeds here and gives Roddy time to get caught back up is fighting that Octomammoth, is fighting that Valvalis. As long as she chases what she gets here, she's in great shape.
Turtle. That is a punchy turtle.
And trying to think of how much damage the wave does here. This could be pretty bad if Cecil doesn't get up.
Well, it's just enough to drop them entirely. Now, it does look like Allisele needed a rest there, as I saw like no MP on Rosa whatsoever. That did, I saw Cure 4 was not even an option here. The bad news is that we hope that Allisele does not fade this. Okay, is going for a cabinet, is going to try this again.
Yeah, the other thing too is Allisele still running at battle speed 1?
I believe that is the case. I have not seen either of them mess with their battle speed yet.
Yeah, that's the thing about Final Fantasy IV, is that even TASs can lose time just because of the draw time of the menu while the ATB is ticking. There is nothing wrong with doing an entire seed at battle speed 2, start to finish. Even then, if you're not fully dialed in and know exactly what actions you want to take each turn, even then, you're going to lose time to the computer. So battle speed 1, no thanks. But I think as long as Ollie gets in one Zerker hit from Cecil, the backline survives this wave. Cecil will survive the wave, should very likely survive the wave this time, with being at full health, but I don't think we're seeing a single punch come out before this wave again. I think this is a situation where rearranging your team and insta-zerking would do a lot of work here. The Thor Rage is coming, but I'm pretty sure the wave is already queued up. Let's find out. But the Cecil swing is really good there.
Yeah, I do like everybody on deck here. I do like, again, I said, again, the whole, like, leave the Avenger on Kane. Now, this might actually work here just because Cecil does have that adamant armor and is just making so big of cuts that even with this next wave coming out, it just probably won't do the 632 damage it needs to do to that paladin here.
Yeah, Cecil has the rest of this fight in the back. It's another fight. You're not getting XP on the rest of the team, but I believe Allie still has 4 Sirens left from her earlier shopping tour, and this turtle should be down in one more swing.
One more swing.
Roddy, meanwhile, gets Cure 4 on the Rosa. Cecil tears through that Bahamut. Notably, and this is a big deal for Roddy, everyone on his team got XP there. As he kills these bosses, if the entire team is standing, gonna get caught up on XP in a hurry, gonna tear through some of these fights more quickly. And you know, if your opponent ends up going for a frisky low-level Zeroma strat, ends up getting hit with a big bang right in the medio, these extra levels can make a huge difference. You don't need a ton of power with items like these, but sometimes that risk can come back to bite you.
Yeah, now the good news for Allisele is that second Adamant armor is going to come down. I totally forgot about the rat tail, that being a thing too. That's going to get turned in, and actually the biggest thing that Allisele does not want to see here is really wants to see that Luca key at the end of the chain after everything else comes up here. Allisele does still have to go to the Land of Summits just because, defeat the king into the tower is there. So really all we're looking for at this point anymore is the Baron key and the package, and really I would assume that the package either has to be at the end of the chain or is one of the two that kind of veer off at Baron here.
Yep, gonna get both tails turned in. Second Adamant armor, very nice, very nice. You don't hate that at all. Roddy does take a wipe to the D-Lunars. You're not the only one this seed, Roddy. Very, very rude in that spot. Tons of physical attack, tons of magical attack. But we'll see if the reset gets him set back up to take this fight down.
Oh yeah, normally I am a very big proponent of having, if you do have a Crystal Sword Cecil, just let him take what shots he will at D-Lunars. That is just one of the points where you really don't want to do it just because those viruses are absolutely sickening. Unfortunately, I may have spoken that one into existence, as that was the key item that Allisele really didn't want to see there, because that is the Luca key that doesn't point to an objective, but we know up here in the booth that it has to be our progression.
Yeah, that will be that's just the Baron key. Or Earth Crystal. Like, it is one of those two, but Allie is leaning into it, going with, saying, I went moon, I'm committing to what I get on the moon, let's see where it leads, and that's really great for her, because we know it's going to give Earth or Baron.
Oh yeah, I love this, especially if you have left things on the blue planet saying, okay, I went up to the moon, what did I get from the moon? Check this stuff first, because if I check the other stuff, if my opponent stayed on the blue planet, well, I'm just repeating stuff that my opponent has likely done, and really, therefore, just kind of wasting the time I, spent getting that stuff on the moon.
And then Roddy here cleans up the D-Lunars with both Rosa and Cecil standing, and is getting double XP at these points. That pink tail got him up to 10, so going to be pulling in the XP hand over fist here. It looks like Allie has a big advantage here, but I think an Earth Crystal here can kind of throw her off the path, and she may end up doing these other Earthbound checks. And Roddy, meanwhile, has a very clear line of the path between now and the end of the seed.
Yep, and as said here, where is the tower key? The tower key is behind the Octomam, which is at the king of the summon monster, which is an objective that leads into an objective. But Allisele did leave that on the blue planet here.
Other way. The Dark Elf.
The Dark Elf, yes. Yeah. Octomam was not part of that, yes.
Yeah. So it's good for Allie if this is the Baron key. If it's the Earth Crystal, it's the biggest thing that throws her off the path to go mode now. So Roddy secretly hoping for this to say Crystal. Baron key.
Baron key. Now, to be fair, it could be Earth Crystal and Spoon. No, wait, Spoon's already taken, so now it can't be Earth Crystal and Spoon.
Yeah, Spoon's at that Octomammoth.
Yeah.
That would be a Sura spot, yeah.
Yeah, Earth Crystal and Package maybe, but Package is required, so...
And here we find Pale Dim, not going to be an issue for this team. Just an issue of how quickly do you tear through it.
How much do you like hearing the effect of the slow spell?
Really good sound effects in this game. I do think Roddy's going to gain time in Cave Bahamut in a couple minutes. Allie took that wipe, hadn't healed, and then only Cecil got XP. Roddy having the 10 key items is going to have much better XP. Yang is definitely going to be able to survive a punch and a wave at the start of it. So Roddy's going to gain a little time there as well. So this double XP in these spots, getting 130,000 per fight at this point is really narrowing this gap.
Yeah, both really kind of have the same setup as opposed to Kane to Young here, but yeah, as we definitely do see, Roddy is chewing through these checks much faster here as Allisele is setting up to warp out of the sealed cave here. I believe Roddy does have the top as well as K Bahamut still to go through. It just really kind of comes down to if Allisele does end up, because if I'm Allisele, I am really thinking, okay, I am underground right now, so what's stopping me from just stopping over at Land of Summons right now? Because, hey, I'm already here, that's an objective, I have to do it anyway. And is probably going to take that Octoman fight as well.
Oh yeah, if you go to Feymarch before you go Baron, you're going to be fighting Octomammoth there. And then you're going to get your tower key, and if you go... Yeah, here we go. This is big for Roddy. Ali is ignoring the Moon Chain, and I think that just baits her into doing 2 fights that we know are unnecessary. She has better levels than Roddy did at the time. Cecil's going to tear through them in a hurry, but it's still 2 completely zonk checks. So, giving several minutes back to Roddy here, and I think that's good for us in the booth and thus us in the audience. We're really back to a neck-and-neck race, even if we're in different spots.
Absolutely. Yeah, it just comes down to that Rowdy Roddy Sniper is going to know exactly when he comes back down that really the only play he has left to him is that Luga key. And again, with that Kanyatso at Bahamut here, Allisele will probably be done with these checks by the time that happens. But again, how much here? You have cabins though. Use the cabins.
Look. Sometimes you have city folk. Sometimes you have country folk. Sometimes you have some that like camping. Sometimes you like the others who go to the beach. Clearly, Allie, not down with roughing it out in the forest.
Yep, gives Rosa the second Adamant there, which, I mean, to be fair, all you really need to complete the seed is probably Cecil and Rosa. I mean, Kane would very much help with, like, an Adamant Avenger there, but, you know, not a wrong decision either way. Keep your White Mage healthy, keep, you know, both of your linchpins here as Cecil readies to just carve into this Dark Elf here.
Yeah, and it is good that Allie is going for the objective first. There is, again, you know, you're an hour and a half into the seed. If you feel that you had some missteps early, you might elect to just say, I'm fading the squid. I'm not fighting that Octomammoth ever. If my go mode is there, I can regret it later. And if so, that'd be really good for her in this situation. We know that it's a zonk. So we'll see if maybe the fact that we're 90 minutes in to one of these immensely power overwhelming kind of seeds, we'll see if that motivates her to do any kind of fading here in the Feymarch.
Yeah, that's a super hard choice to make, and one I don't think I could, as also does remember that Dragoon Spear is there, so now, you know, we have two characters doing more than, you know, 7,500 damage a swing, so Dark Elf not long for the world at all.
Yeah, and Roddy here looting K Bahamut. Don't know what he's really seeking at this point. What could really make this team stronger? Yang just wants levels. Cecil is doing all the Cecil things. We have a second Adamant armor waiting for us back on the blue planet. So I wonder what he's hoping to find at this point that could really step up the game for this crew.
That is a good question because nothing comes to mind at all.
And sees the turtle. Is like, nope, I'm good.
Sees the turtle, says, nope, I'm good, but wait a minute, I actually have to do this, don't I?
Well,
it was taking a behemoth, it looks like.
I mean, if you want a little more XP, this is very safe with how, again, we have Adamant Cecil on cover duty. After that punch, everyone is weak. Cecil was doing nearly 5,000 a pop, so this will be 3 to 4 hits if Yang's chipping in. But I don't like the behemoth fight. Like this Cecil and Rosa, especially with the second Adamant armor, here's Aromas ready. Doing this is giving time back to Allie, who is currently rabbit holing.
Yeah, it's holing and is, I mean, will rabbit hole the top of the tower, but again, really shouldn't give much of a problem. Is going to get some of the XP back. We'll have double XP for the Val fight, which, I mean, it is at least a 50k spot. It isn't as big as the moon, but we'll give some of that XP back as Roddy does finish up with that behemoth. Throw some Cure 4s here. He knows that Turtle is going to do Turtle things, is topping everybody, topping even Tell off there. And then forgot to turn combat encounters off, and we'll be not running from this? Oh, I guess not. Throwing up the Fire 3 with Tella. Gonna take this Bone Dragon as well here, as Allisele is done and is heading towards the tower, so that advantage is starting to trickle away here.
Yep, that extra fight, give another 30,000 XP, one shot by Cecil. But here we go, Turtle fight. Let's see if it goes more smoothly for Roddy than it did for Allie. And Allie heading up the tower here.
Yep, still Avenger glitching here. Getting to give Kane the Berserk. If Tella can get a Cure 4 onto Rosa, she'll live. And actually, assuming Cecil takes off a couple of good hits, Rosa might still just live through that.
Yeah,
okay, Rosa's probably going to live. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I think the second hit was key there. One hit, everyone else survives. 2 hits, I think Rosa survives. And we do see a tower key before going all the way up here. Are we seeing the Penguinator special, as the community calls it?
It would be very interesting and would be great for Allisele here. Just saying, hey, this top of the tower, I want nothing to do with it. Really probably doesn't want anything to do with the character that's inside here, as Golbez is back here for the reprise of just hamming it up here again. Now, to be fair, I really don't even care if Kane drops here. I just sit on Cecil's turn, wait for the Shadow Dragon to go away here. Cecil does have the admin armor, and then just take your swing and be on with your life, I guess, would be the best way to put it.
Yep. And here we go. Roddy gets through Turtle first try, which is good. Again, making up some of that time that Allie lost, took a wipe and had to heal up and come back down. So Roddy shaving off these minutes.
And right as Allisele is done with the tower, so Roddy is going to get the Luca key there, and actually with that Golbez now, depends on if Allisele goes to the top of the tower. If Allisele goes to the top of the tower, Roddy will probably be part of the way down Sealed Cave, I would guess, at that point in time. If does the Penguinator special is definitely the better play here that we know, because we're here in the booth, but again, I would guess she's probably going to be going to the top of the... No, we are getting a Penguinator special, ladies and gentlemen.
I like this play. I think that when you're this far into a seed, when you've committed to Moon like you have, I think it's good to pick a spot and say, you know, I'm going to just hope that I get a free 3 minutes this way. And, you know, she may not need it at this point. The team is doing such good work that we know here it's not necessary. But you have to be a little worried, especially because what did we find in the lunar subterrane? 1 pink tail and a pass, right?
Yep.
All the value was in Cave Bahamut, so you got to be a little worried, right?
Well, yes, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, at this point, you're following that Baron key, which we know is the exact correct play here. So, I mean, yes, that top of the tower is going to gnaw at you. That's just a Dragoon Spear. And Allisele is on her way to Baron. Is pretty much just going to be ahead the Sealed Cave check here. So, does have a little bit of time ahead. We'll see if Roddy can eat into that at all.
Yeah, I think it'll depend a little bit here on where the package ends up being. There are 2 checks in Baron. One of them we know is going to be the Earth Crystal. Guaranteed. There has to be a path to every key item in a seed. And then the other one here, plus the Earth Crystal check, are going to be combined Sand Ruby and package. So it could be a situation where you make up a little time on your opponent by either choosing to go directly to slot or choosing to commit to the basement throne. Trying to think of what enemies at either spot can really hamper these runners at this point, so it's gonna just kind of depend on a coin flip.
Pretty sure that Wyvern is still outstanding here. We have not dealt with Blarg, and he could actually be on the Odin throne. Now, both runners do have access to curse rings, and both runners do have Tellas as their anchors. So, not as bad as it could be, but Yeah, again, Blark still at large.
We know this is Ruby, because we fought the elements back at the Pale Dim spot. Cecil goes crunch crunch. Not enough to one-shot it, though. I think we're going to see a glare here, but Adamant armor. Does it matter? No, we have Adamant armor.
What was a glare? We will show you how, apparently.
Don't look at me like that, Ruby.
I mean, the Alt Gauntlet is off the table. Again, Ruby, a rude boss in some places, but not that one here. And here at the throne, we have utterly and completely free. The freest.
Although I think an important thing to note here is that I'm pretty sure it's faster to kill the king instead of just waiting for them to go through their script for a change.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's probably easy. It's probably faster to at least kill the king, and well, the queen did go rare fairly fast there, so maybe because of the slow anchor here. But yeah, again, if you just want to pass this, she had another action right fast there. So
very clean. Well done by Ali. Are we finally gonna find Edge? Nope.
Nope. She's like, I'm here. I heard you had Bahamut summons, and you're like, well, that's a little too late. And I believe Allisele is saying, hey, free anchor, let's go.
Kirstella, you already had your anchor. All you're doing now is having to manage inventory. But you know, I get it. If Tella hits exactly 15 agility from all these levels, you're gonna have kind of an awkward time with how the game processes that. But I think at this point, leaving Kane on the floor, Ali is very blatantly saying, this is the Cecil and Rosa show. I don't actually care about anyone else on the team.
To be fair, that's a perfectly acceptable thing to say. This is definitely the Cecil and Rosa show. There's our Earth Crystal, and now decisions are here.
Yep, one of these two remaining spots in the seed is your package. One is your Sand Ruby. And Ali is very much hoping and praying right now that it's not at the spot she abandoned.
Walking to Baron Town saying, wait, this isn't where I was going, and then makes her way back into the castle here. Is going to take the basement throne. To be fair, this is exactly what I would be doing as well here. I'd be going to the basement throne. And yeah, the basement throne is actually an objective, so I mean, why not at this point?
Oh, that's true. I overlooked number 6, so the coin flip doesn't matter. Everyone's going to be doing this. And that means Ali still has a few minute advantage here.
Rowdy Roddy Sniper is already back in Baron, already through there, and is going to the weapon shop. I am very actually curious to see what are you looking for here. Another cat claw, apparently.
Hey, there's Togo Pogo. Oh, it's like, wait. Oh, yeah. You want to see my second wave? Here's my second wave. Imagine how confusing that is as a kid if you don't understand percentages. It's like, how did Rydia only take 14 damage? I don't understand.
I mean, to be fair, we were probably not in the business of killing off our Rydia because we thought she was probably really, really good back then.
That's
Some
true.
of us still think so.
There are earlier percentage attacks in the game too. I'm like, that again. You know, I played this game for the first time in 3rd grade, 4th grade, and then, you know, learned percentages the next year. Like, oh, okay. Or whenever we learned them. Gosh, I don't remember the progression of grade school math, but that's a go mode right there.
Yeah, that is a go mode there. That's actually probably better news for Rowdy Roddy Sniper. If I am Rowdy Roddy Sniper here, the basement is an objective. Do I just do the basement and the throne at the same time here, or do I just go to the basement, hit it, find my package, and say, I'm gonna walk this out?
Well, we know that the fight on the main throne is as free can be. I think the big thing here that Roddy has going for him is a much stronger team for Zeromus. Ali is kind of showcasing the whole all you need is Cecil and a white mage. But stuff can still go awry. You can have a full powered, like, you can have a full-powered Big Bang into rocks, and even then your Adamant Armor doesn't necessarily save you.
I mean, we still have Tower of Zot here, but we still have not seen our ninja, wherever he may have been. So he was either in Zot, or he was behind the, Actually, I guess we never did check the bed either, so yeah, he could have been in Kaipo as well.
Which means he's behind Zot! Haha! Because Sand Ruby's... Yeah, that's where Sand Ruby is, so...
Yep, we burned a city down. Here, have a crystal.
Roddy is going direct to this basement throne, gonna run into Ogo. I hope his team has more than half their max HP currently. I guess we'll see.
That's another little bit of paranoia for me. I am definitely one of those that say, if I have not dealt with either of the two big snakes here, oh yeah, that's definitely more than half there, as we do see the Crystal Avenger glitch again here, just before both waves come out, and those are probably some of the very few actions that our Ogopogo will get at this point in time. So if I'm Rowdy Roddy Sniper, I am walking this out, and this race is still semi-close. The question is, Allisele will have maybe 1.5, 2 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, let's pay close attention here to our... I should have made a note of the time at which Allie got her crystal. Instead, let's do our best to look at when the pass door opens. We'll say when the pass door opens, and let that be our point of comparison between the two. Yeah, I see that Kane on Allie's side is only level 39, Rosa 45, Cecil 44. Roddy has a big levels advantage. So Allie on a clock here. Roddy knows he's in go mode. Pass door opens at 1:44:10 for Allisele. And Roddy is hoofing it. But that being said, as Allie takes this teleporter night too, tell me about Zeromus. What are these flags? I've never been here before in my life. I've never seen this game. What's going on?
Man, we both have terrible memories, let me tell you. But yeah, we do have over 500, I believe, Zeromus flags in here. We can't put him anywhere else. He refuses to move. He says randomizings for chumps there, and then we slap new skins on him anyway. But the big question here, as always, is whose butts are we going to kick tonight? Is butt cute? Does it even have a butt? And other butt-related questions.
And was this a good experience for you?
Scala.
I could have also gone with experimental, but...
You know, I'm just glad that you're willing to divulge all this information.
If you're looking for a Japanese spear, you don't got nothing, then it's a naginata. Or I could do a naginata if I want to get, like, another whole, like, language in there. Anyway, it's butt time.
Crystal is thrown, true colors emerging. Who did we get for our Zeromus sprite tonight?
Was he really better be carrying a spear today?
Oh, it's one of the Phantasy Star final bosses. Perfect Darkness, I believe?
Oh, it's Profound Darkness.
Profound Darkness, gotcha.
She is very big, and I had to figure out how to fit her.
Yeah, like, there's an entire other half of this. Like, what you don't see is the other 4 party members on the other side helping win this fight. You know, it's very much
like FFL2 when Iris goes and takes on the other like half of Arsenal.
I was thinking actually more like Bizarro Sephiroth. You know.
Oh yeah, also fair and valid.
Okay, how many of us actually changed teams when fighting Bizarro Sephiroth? Let's be real here.
Sorry, Knights of the Round says what?
Exactly. Would you like to change this other team who is nowhere near prepared? You probably don't have materia on anyway. No, let me have my main party. Go away.
And Adamant Cecil here with the Avenger is going to work. But Roddy also in go mode. Let's pay close attention to it's going to be roughly, well, inventory management. Allie has more than a 3-minute advantage at this point, so Roddy needs to see a wipe here. The team's not going to make it up all on their own. Roddy really needs a big bang into a Meteo to create a wipe scenario here. If so, advantage completely back on him.
Yeah, now, to be fair, that last Big Bang, I believe, was full powered, and I believe both party members only took just slightly more than 1,000 hit points. Might have rolled low on there. We do have another shake, even as Cecil keeps dealing somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 damage a swing here. Getting a little bit of low rolls. Here comes another Big Bang. And it was spicier, but
You'd
not
think
really.
These were nerfed, but they're not. And I missed the exact timer, but Roddy is roughly 3.5 minutes behind Allie going in here. A wipe is the primary thing that saves him. Black hole means one Cecil hit will be a little weaker here, but he'll start circling again without any input from Allie.
Yep, and still not there. Do have a direct nuke coming in. Should not really inconvenience Cecil all that much. Just another Cure 4, and he's good as new here. And yeah, get the pull here from Rowdy Roddy Sniper again. About 3 minutes, rounded up a little bit here in terms of how far back here. And we do have rocks, and I believe that is probably going to seal it for Allisele, especially with Cecil dodging there. Just going to take a few more swipes here. And I believe we have our winner here.
GG's to Allie, advances to 2-1, now tied for second in the Spear group. It's looking like we are currently well on our way to a Dia-Allie rematch for the second spot in this group. It's not over yet for everyone else, but that GG's to Allie, pulling this one off and going back up to better than 500, and we'll see if she wants to come in for an interview soon. But watch Roddy's Z fight here while we're doing this. Roddy's team is about to just destroy this final boss.
I believe Rose is getting a Bacchus there too. I believe did kind of go with the may actually be looking for a Silk Web here, maybe, I'm guessing, on Young. Yep, is going for that Silk Web here, just making sure it's not going to get eaten there. And I believe we are joined by Allisele. Good game here. Very, very well played.
Hello.
GG's. Very well done. Advanced to 2-1 in the group. Looks like you're on a collision course for a rematch with Dia at this rate. I think one of the big things here, you had about a 3.5 minute going to Zeroma's fight, and you faded the top of tower, did the Penguinator special. What kind of made you decide to do that? Just what had happened earlier in the seed, your routing, that made you say, this is a gamble I want to take right now?
Well, I forgot who was at the King of Summon Monsters. So when I get back from the moon that was miserable and had nothing except for one rat tail from a turtle. Is that where the... Yes.
Yes.
I looked at it and I said, if Rowdy Roddy Sniper did this first and got that tower key, he would have done that first. So if it's top of tower, I've lost. But if it's not, and I gamble that it isn't, that gives me a little bit of time.
And pretty much absolutely right. Your team probably still tears through that fight with just enough time to spare, but it definitely gave you an extra cushion there. Nightdew, what did you see that you're curious about from Allie's run of the seed tonight?
It comes kind of down to those moon bosses. At one point, did you just decide to say, okay, Kane's just kind of dead weight here, let's just leave him alone and make this the Rosa and Cecil show here?
I think I decided that somewhere along, like, I don't know, when I got the Cecil.
You had the Crystal Sword and an Adamant armor, both in Evelyn Castle. What went through your head when you first saw those? Like, were you just immediately in Cecil, where's Cecil? Or were you a little more patient and paced with it?
I was like, give me a Cecil. There had better be a Cecil somewhere I can find it. This is like the Cecil starter kit. Where is my Cecil?
Okay. I know you were a big fan of him on this flag set, and we do have a finish coming in from Roddy. Definitely made up some time on that Z fight, coming in at 150, 152. Very well done, very strong team, but just one extra check made all the difference this season.
And I have a question. What's the tier level of the Choco Butt?
I don't think you're allowed to say that on RPG Limit Break, Allie. We're gonna have to.
That is a good question because I don't even really check the Choco Butt myself, honestly.
No, we can look it up right quick. I have the treasure probability curves right here. Well, it's loading. Come on, Free Enterprise Wiki. We have an important. Okay, it's not loading. We'll talk about it later. Why? What exactly did you find there that was so exciting?
A power shirt and a heroin robe.
Oh, those aren't even tier 7.
Yeah. Jimmy says in chat 11.75% for tier 6, 1.50 tier 7.
Well, that seems fancy.
And heroin robe's even just tier 5. Power shirt's tier 6. So it seems pretty reasonable on D Wildish.
But yeah, otherwise that was a really fun seed. I played the song of Scala's people to give thanks for all the nice things that I got.
And yeah, well, we make sure you watch this back because Scala gave us all so many gifts in return.
We had guest star commentary quite a few times, and we were let's just say we hope you like spear puns.
You won't be disappointed.
No.
You didn't even put any polish on that one.
Anyway, Allie, when is your next match? Is it scheduled? You still have a couple more to round out your trials through this Spear group. When can we see you racing next?
My next match is Friday at 7, and that is against Ascorian. And then my last match is Saturday at 5, and that is going to be against NG Dave.
Oh, the group leader. Good luck with that one. Well, I think we're going to see if Roddy wants to interview. Allie, final thoughts on this seed before we move along tonight?
Just again, I had a lot of fun. No matter what happens in my next 2 races, this is farther than I have ever gotten in a tournament. So I'm just very thankful. I'm thankful to the organizers. I'm thankful to y'all for doing commentary. I'm thankful for Alchemy for staying up late to push the buttons. Of course, to Scala Kitty for doing all the things that Scala Kitty does. And just thanks to the community. Y'all are great, and I love you.
You've definitely put yourself in a very good spot at 2-1 here in that Spear group. Definitely a lot of people are going to be paying a lot more attention. I'm going to be paying a lot more attention there. Again, as my obedient opponent does come out of your group here. So I've got a little bit of a vested interest in here as well here. But again, well played, and we look forward to seeing the rest of the races come out at the end of this week here. Thanks, y'all. Everybody have a wonderful night. You too.
Night, Allie. And we are awaiting word from our restreamer as to whether or not we'll be joined by Roddy for an interview as well. Psst. Hey, restreamer. Stand by, chat. We will have our other racer very soon. And there we go. We are joined by Rowdy Roddy Sniper. Roddy, well-run race. All came down to just a matter of minutes. One strategical fade by Allie. Amazingly played, though. GG's. How do you like your Crystal Sword Cecils?
Apparently the way I ran that seed, about 90% instead of the full 100%. I relied too much on, I relied a lot on cover strats more than I should have, especially since I had 2 blink casters, but, I think that probably at the end of the day, you're correct that fade of the top of the tower that Allie did was absolutely the right call for that seed, and definitely GG to her.
One of the most haunted moons we've seen in a long time.
Oh, no kidding.
What were you? You did have the advantage of double XP for a lot more of it because you had done the blue planet. But like, what was going through your head as you were wrapping up the lunar subterrane, and you still had, I believe the count was 6 key items still gated by something, and you knew that it was somewhere on the moon.
Yeah, I was definitely waiting for that. I was hoping for that Baron key to show up, because that would have been 2 checks, and I would have probably bailed on that just because it was, like you said, it was an absolute ghost town up there, save for the Kanatsu, the hardest fight in the moon possible. That at least had the rat tail, so.
Yep.
But
Night Dude, what did you see? Oh, go ahead. No, keep going.
I was gonna say that was the one time I was happy to have that ice claw on Yang for the entire moon.
Yeah, that was actually where I was going with it there, and part of it was that you did have that pan just sitting in your inventory for a while, kind of taking up space there, not knowing if Sheila had an Avenger and a Power Rope. Had you had that when Kane showed up, would it have really made your choice between Yang and possibly that Kane a little bit harder?
Not really, because I was more worried about the fact that I had if I had less of the seed to clear, I probably would have stuck with the Kane, even with the elemental the elemental resistances being flipped once you take the adamant armor off of him, because I didn't have that second adamant when I got the Cecil. So if I had done that, I probably if I had been there, I probably would have said I can handle it. There's less I know there's less elemental bosses. But as it was, probably not, because the power shirt is still pretty good on Yang, and at the end of the day, his damage output end game is still better than Kane for the most part.
Well, that does move you down to, I believe. Actually, I'll just say, when is your next match in the group here?
I'll be facing Dia on Friday, so that'll be another tough draw. So we'll go from there. See how it goes.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this was a 3-minute race. This was not you two were pretty much kind of just exchanging. Such different routing there. We really kind of had a hard time saying if anybody really had that much of an advantage or not. And again, as was stated, I mean, due to that key item advantage, had there been one slip, you would have taken that, because, I mean, your power advantage was so far greater than Allisele's at that point there. And probably had the faster moon clear, just had that little bit of extra stuff to kind of go through there. But anyways, again, GG, and any other questions, Venerable?
No, just I think if that package ends up at Zod with even a remotely rude boss, that is such a huge difference for you. But beautifully played. Great to see such great races this tournament, neck and neck. And we'll give you the final thought on it, Roddy, and then we'll wrap up for the night.
First of all, thank you both for doing the commentary. Thank you for Scala and Alchemy for restreaming and tracking. Appreciate everything that you guys do behind the scenes and taking the time out of your day to do this. GG to Allisele, great race, and thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Hey, have a good night, Roddy.
Thank you. Take care.
Well, Chad, there is plenty of Adamant Cup action going on, but if you want to go find that, you got to do it via Discord and join us there. Follow the links that way, because we are going to leave y'all right at home here on RPG Limit Break tonight. Coming up in less than an hour, there is the next Dragon Warrior Randomizer race. Nightdew, who should they be looking for in that matchup?
I believe tonight we do have 3 people in that race. Yakko Wacko 20, Tristal MTG, and Centroid 41 are all going to be running here. And like I said, about 40 minutes from now. So Yeah, I will probably be watching. I definitely have a fondness for at least lurking some of these DWR races, so I'll probably hit both places here. But yeah, they were nice enough to leave the channel for us, so we're just going to toss it right back to them here in a little bit.
Hey, sounds like a plan. Everyone, thanks for hanging out tonight. We had a blast. We hope you enjoyed this really close race. And yeah, have a great night, everyone.